What's up, guys? So, I apologize if I cough or sneeze, but it is allergy season and it's hitting me pretty hard this year. I think the older I get, the more allergies I have. So, the question and the comment I saw on one of my video comment sections was perhaps getting closer with Apollo will inspire me to tell the truth more. And so today we're going to talk about what happens the closer you get to deity, what can change in your life the closer you become in a relationship with certain gods. And that's what we'll talk about today. So I hope you guys enjoyed the setup for this new way I have set up where I have the gods forefront and not me. I'm here to show you I'm live and actually speaking, but I don't want myself to be the focus, especially when we're talking on the gods. And so I have the statues of the gods with me. So it may change depending on the video I'm speaking on, but for now, I'll have Apollon and Athena as the two for sure on these videos. But back to the topic at hand. What happens when you get closer to the deities? So I think first off, like attracts like, as I say, that those who are habitual liars may be a turnoff from someone that is a god of truth, such as Apollo, for example. Meaning that I don't know if, because, positive and negatives don't really mix too well. So I don't know if someone who is a continuous liar would have, maybe not on Apollo's end, but on their end, they cannot connect with what Apollo is all about because they don't live according to truth, that they live based on lies. So the way their brain works, they couldn't comprehend what the spirit of Apollo is. So maybe they would have a harder time in that respect, connecting to a god such as Apollo, who is the god of truth and light. So he is the god of light, meaning that you have the sun, the actual sphere in the universe, Helios, and even Apollo could be the light emanating from that sun. Any light, and it could also be the light as in shedding the light on a subject to bring the truth out. So not necessarily maybe that the gods don't want to have a relationship with a liar, but that the liar, just for example, would not know how to connect to truth and a God of truth and not have a great relationship as someone who is more truthful or strives to be truthful. I can also say, though, that the closer you do get to deity, not to become a deity, but to deities you pray to, the more you want to honor them. And the more you start seeing their aspects reflect in your life. Meaning that if you're really strongly drawn to Artemis and you honor Artemis in your life, you feel hesitant about anything that would negatively destroy anything in nature, possibly. Just for example, off the top of my head, if you were connected to Athene or Athena, you'd be more in the academic realm, and you'll notice that you'd want to draw more towards academics, possibly, or becoming a teacher of some kind, or X, Y, and Z, and you just feel that natural draw to go that way. So getting closer to deity especially if you have particular ones that you are not called by, but you just personally feel a kinness to, or you feel a more strong relationship with. Those aspects can start to reflect in your life in a positive way, and I'm sure in a negative way as well. I do know people who are followers of Aries, for example, and not to say Aries is negative or bad, but you'll see that there is the followers who are the strongest connected to Aries. They definitely have a different arrogance and a different attitude and personality about them than someone who is strongly connected to Hestia. So again, the closer you get to deities in a relationship sense, the more you connect and you learn from them, and you kind of, in a good way or in a bad way, kind of become them in a mortal sense, not deified sense. Also, I just wanted to say that you can also, like for Apollo, if you're a follower of Apollo, you'll notice occasionally maybe your oracle sense inside of you, because some of us, we have like the Oracle of Delphi. We can sometimes get glimpses into future events, and if you draw really close to Apollo, that could be something that is brought out. I've always wondered if it's a gift from Apollo, or if, they always say that we use 10% of our brain, and maybe when we have what was we called psychic, quote unquote psychic ability, or if something happens, that maybe it's tapping in that other percent of the brain, or if it is from where else as a gift, because we draw closer, and it's just part of that getting closer to the gods. That, for like I said, for Apollo, for example, or someone that's the oracle god like Apollo, that it's something that's just something that happens. I say this because it's happened a few times in my life, and it's more than just coincidences. 3 times I was thinking about this happened in my life, and I wish I could tap into it more, but it's so random that I wish looking back on it, I had told someone so they could see proof of it, such as, I think the less evidence one is something like if there's a song on radio, like for example, I was working at my job, and the song called Song Sung Blue by Neil Diamond popped in my head, and I hadn't heard that song in years. Have you even heard of the song called Song Sung Blue? And how would you expect to ever hear that, really? And so what happened is that song was in my head, and when I was at work, and I just started singing it. And then later that day, I was at the grocery store, and that song came on. So, of all random songs, because anything about Neil Diamond is not a top 40 hit in this day and age. And if you think of a Neil Diamond song, if you even know who Neil Diamond is, Song Sung Blue is not the song you would say if I said, name a Neil Diamond song. Most people would say Sweet Caroline or X, Y, and Z, but I really don't know if you would say Song Sung Blue if I had to ask you to choose a Neil Diamond song, if you know one. So that was an example that happened. And then another one that happened recently was that I was driving home from work. But this is not a good thing, but I was driving home from work, and I was thinking about a time. What popped in my head was a memory of a time when a friend told me about how they got a speeding ticket because the camera took a picture of them. You know how speeding in America, I don't know if it is everywhere, but we have cameras that if you go a certain amount over the speed limit, it'll take a picture of your license plate and you get a ticket. They'll send it to you in the mail. And I remember how my friend was telling me that. And then, like I said, I was thinking about that when I drove home. And when I got home, I got to the mailbox. The speeding ticket for me was in the mail with the picture of my license plate. And then there was another time where I've been waiting for something else to come in the mail, and it hadn't been here for days. It didn't come when it was supposed to, and I was wondering if it was even coming at all. But then one morning, I woke up and I knew that today was the day that something was coming in the mail. I knew it. And then I opened up the mailbox again. There it was. Yeah, and then the sadder part of it is there's one time where I just had thought of a relative that was sick, and I just knew that his time was not going to be much longer. And then that day or the next morning, we got the call that something happened. So things like that happen occasionally in my life, and as those are the times I wish I knew how to get it more, hone in, price it more. But then again, I don't want to turn it into a business. I don't want to be someone that learns how to do this and does it for a business. But it's interesting though when things like that happen. They're special. But that brings me back to my point of the closer you get to certain deities, that there are certain aspects that start coming into your life, and that can be positive, and it usually is positive. I don't want to say there's anything negative, but yeah. So the answer to that person's question of if I draw or pray more to Apollo, it will inspire me to tell the truth more. I think that if you get close to Apollo, you just feel like you want to tell the truth more. And that, like I said, like with Artemis or Athena, whatever you want to call her, whatever as your choice is, I think that the closer you get to them, you want to honor them more by telling the truth for Apollo, or academics for Athena, or it makes you hurt inside or hesitant to do something that would destroy an animal or nature if you're really close with Artemis, just for example. Or if you want to clean your house more to honor Hestia. So Hestia, to honor her, things like that. It's part of our relationship to honor the gods, because we care and love the gods and we're thankful for the gods. And that is the truth of why it is how it is. Anyway, guys, I hope you liked this video. And I wanted to show you something about my room, my red room, that is interesting. I was thinking about that I didn't think of until the other day. So let me show you. Check this out. Hello. All right, so you'll see that my room, my game room, quote unquote, and my altar room is red. So I painted it red with gold curtains without even thinking about it. I just wanted to show this to you because this is pretty neat. And you guys have seen my altar to Apollo. So this is the altar room / entertainment room. So it's red walls with gold curtains, and check out my altar to Apollo. When we painted the walls red with gold curtains, this was not in my mind. But this has been my altar to Apollo. Red and gold. I thought that was really interesting. It just hit me. I was like, holy crap. So this room can be dedicated to Apollon. So I thank you, great God, that you are with us and you inspire us to tell the truth and be honest with God, with gods and man, just be in ourselves. And so I thank you guys watching this video, and I will talk to you later. Bye.